SnipingIsFun here, and this will be my second review of the night, which will be Legend of Zelda, the Spirit Tracks on the Nintendo DS. Basically, the Zelda series, I've been a fan of the Zelda series since, like, Ocarina of Time. I did go back and play a couple games before then, but it was basically Ocarina of Time. I think that was the one that really got me into the series, although I might have played a few before it. I'm not fully sure now, actually. But from when I played this game, it is really fun. It actually is kind of original with the whole idea of like a train and all that stuff. Rather than like, the boat or a pony and all that stuff. Basically the gameplay, it's basically like any Zelda game. You run around, go from dungeon to dungeon, fight monsters, use your weapons, your sword, your shield, buy items, etc., 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 do missions and quests. For a DS game, instead of using like the diagonal buttons to walk around and everything, you basically use the stylus you basically use to move around on the screen and all that stuff, and you tap to pick items up or attack enemies, which you can also like draw little lines to slash them, or draw a circle to do your spin attack and everything. Basically, it uses the functions of the second screen on a DS a lot in this game, and basically that's basically the whole idea of the gameplay. Pretty much, it's basically the same thing as like any Zelda game in a way. The presentation and graphics for the game, basically it's the Wind Waker Phantom Hourglass style, basically the whole like cartoony, chibi-ish kind of cartoony style. The cell shaded style basically that was used in those games. Basically that's the whole idea, like the presentation, the graphics of the game. For a DS game, they're really good actually. And I actually do like the style of these games. I like both styles. I like the more realistic style for Zelda, but I also like this style. Some people don't, but I actually think it's pretty good. It's kind of cool that they keep both styles, or kind of mix them or anything, like do different styles for the game. The sound of the game, basically it follows like basically what Legend of Zelda always has been. It has like, doesn't have the same songs or anything, but it has songs that you could actually that actually do feel like old Zelda songs, at least, like that would fit in with them if they were all in the same game and stuff. And actually has some really good music and like sounds for like when the characters talk and everything and make noises and everything. The story, basically the story of this game is Link is graduating like for his to become he's an apprentice, like train engineer, and he's going for like his to like the ceremony to be like an official train engineer and all that stuff. His own train and everything, and he has to meet with Princess Zelda and all that stuff. And basically the Spirit Tracks, like the temple that like all spirits, whatever's going on over there. Something's going on and it's all like being like destroyed. Something's happening like that. You basically find out that the guy that was working for Princess Zelda, Chancellor Cole, is actually evil, and he's working for a guy called Byron, something like that. Baron, or something like that. And I think they're trying to use the Spirit Tracks to take over or something like that. I don't know. No, they capture Zelda's body, and they're trying to bring back the Demon King or the Demon Spirit. That's what they're trying to do, actually. And basically Zelda's spirit follows Link around on his quest this time, unlike in most Zelda games where she's captured or something happened to her or something like that. This game, she actually follows you around and does stuff, like it actually helps you in a way. She can get into knight's armor and all that stuff and help you do little things like that, and like dungeons and everything. And then basically after that, Link goes to like the Spirit Temple or Spirit Tracks or everything, talks to the Angian, basically the guardian of the Tower of Spirits. Oh, that's what's called, Tower of Spirits. There we go. And basically it works there and helps him. And basically Link has to go around to see all the other guardians and meet with them and get all the Spirit Tracks back and stuff like that. and basically you meet with all these other all these other guardians before you go to the dungeons. I think there's 4 of them. I only got past the forest temple, the forest dungeon. Um, but this one after that's a snow temple, the snow dungeon. Basically, you basically meet like these guardians, and Zelda gives you some kind of flute or something like that, which is kind of like this game's ocarina and everything. And you play music on it, and you learn songs for it, and you had to. I don't know if you do it for the other guardians, but for the forest guardian, you do have to learn a song from him and all that stuff. I'm sure you do for the other ones as well. And basically, it's kind of like you move the stylus around on the screen, and you blow into the microphone to like you're blowing into the flute and all that stuff. And basically. And basically, that's basically the whole idea of the story. Link goes around to these, it goes to the Spirit Temple, the Tower of Spirits, and all that stuff. Gets the tracks to come back because they all disappeared, and basically goes to the dungeons, temples, defeats the monsters inside of the dungeon bosses, and all that stuff. And basically, I think and then basically the main villains in this game are Chancellor Cone Baron or Burn or something like that, whatever his name is. I don't think they have no reference. I don't think, unless the Demon King's supposed to be, Ganondorf or something, I don't think Ganondorf's in this game. I'm sure the final boss will probably be the Dark Demon King, but, I don't think it's Ganondorf. It might be, but I'm not really sure. And basically, that's the whole idea of the story. And the multiplayer, I didn't play it, but I'm guessing it's just kind of like, the Four Swords Adventure, which I did play with my friend and his brother, and if it is, it'd be pretty good, actually. Meaning it would actually probably be, a pretty good multiplayer if it's the exact same thing. And basically, that's the whole idea of Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I think it's one of the best, probably, Zelda games I've played lately, although I've yet to play Phantom Hourglass. I still have to play Phantom Hourglass. I haven't yet to play it, except for at my friend's house, and, the demos they have at the stores and all the stuff when they had at the store, basically. But I didn't still play that one, and, well, it actually is a pretty good game, actually. Not probably the best Zelda game, but it is probably one of the top few, especially the newer ones, that actually is, pretty good. So basically, in the end, I give the gameplay a 9.5 out of 10. The presentation, the graphics of the game, 9.5 out of 10. The sound of the game, 9.5 out of 10. The story of the game, a 9 out of 10. And I give the multiplayer, although I didn't play it, an 8.5 out of 10. Because I think it is similar to the Four Swords in a way, but I haven't played it. I played that barely, so if it is similar or close enough, it actually is pretty good. So basically, in the end, I give Legend of Zelda, the Spirit Tracks on the Nintendo DS gets about a 9.2 average. So it's between a 9 and 9.5. It is a pretty good game. I think it has a pretty good story for what I played of it. And it actually is original in how the story goes and the fact that you use a train and everything. So basically, that's my review of Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. If you're a Legend of Zelda fan, I recommend you buy this game, rent this game, play this game in some way, shape, or form. And if you're not a Zelda fan, maybe rent it. See you guys later.